What's up guys, Barbarian your best here, and today we have the Flay Rend Rupture build. We are now using the Rage of Harrogath, and I grinded an alt to get a Harlequin crest. Let's see if we can do pit tier 110. Okay, so I have to say, with the Harlequin crest and with the Rage of Harrogath, you are pretty much immortal. It's crazy. It's crazy and it's amazing. And I can see now why in the higher tiers all you really need is Flay and Rupture. I still really like Rend. Is it needed? Definitely not. Does it help? Absolutely. Well, probably in the upper tiers it probably hindered a little bit. Because if you want to push really high, you probably will just need to have those two skills, as we can see. That's my dog. Probably barking at nothing. But yeah, the Harlequin, you don't, I don't know. I don't think I ever want to do a bleed build again without the Rage of Harrogath. Before, I didn't have everything, like my reses or my armor situated, so I couldn't actually use it. I'm still happy that we did pit tier 100 in order, like, without it. To me, I'm still happy with that. But yeah, this definitely brings it up a notch for sure. Boom, boom, boom. They're all dead. And why can't we see through the wall? You can literally stand, just hang out, and Rend, Rupture, almost everything. Alright. Where were we? There we were. Let's keep going. Yeah, Rage of Harrogath is so awesome. Kinda sad it took me this long to actually use it. Because man, it is definitely a game changer. You can literally like just chill and stand in everything. Besides that one spot where I died. These guys are all dead. Sometimes we use Flay just a little bit. If we have an enemy that's given us a little bit of trouble. If we can try to like these fire guys really suck. And I guess I also like Rend because you do get some bleed damage on these guys. Because sometimes Rupture, you know, doesn't always do the job. These fire guys suck though. I actually hate them. I think that's the worst enemy in the game right there for me. There, dead. So let's get all these guys here. No cooldown. Perfect. They have a lot of health. That's why you do have to keep dragging them. At this point, I almost am playing just the actual Flay Rupture, but I still put in a couple Rends. I think it plays a little smoother, really. And plus, when you stand still, you get that the 3x damage, like for intercom, and that definitely helps too. Okay, get it out of my way. But yeah, Rage Harrogath and Rupture, absolutely amazing because it just resets your cooldowns. Pull them all in, your Rupture, and it just crushes everything. Your cooldowns are automatically reset. It's crazy. That was a really crappy steel blast. And if you're like me, slap in a couple Rends. Just to make sure the job's finished. These guys will follow us. Those guys will follow us. Drag a big group in. Hit the Rupture. Hit him with a couple of Rends. Take up the big guys with a couple Flays. Boom. Drag them all in. Oh man, this is so satisfying. And again, you could just play this with just Flay, and then it would be like the lead meta for now. But again, I still like Rupture or Rend. Sorry.
Not ready yet.
These guys are a little annoying right now. Again, the fire guys. Fire guys are the worst. Okay, he's dead. Good.
Not ready yet.
Okay, almost there to fight the boss. There we go. Let's see, who do we have here today? Oh, my favorite! I hate this guy. So with the boss, nothing changes. You have to use Flay. No matter what. You just have to. That's the only way to get this guy. That's the only way to get any boss. And again, wait until you have gold around your Rupture like I do now. Rupture, boom, doesn't take out the bleeding, but it adds another one. Look at that, can't see anything. Where is he at? There he is. Definitely use your Steel Grasp all the time. The more you use Steel Grasp, the better. Because it gets you your berserking. And it keeps up your vulnerable. Okay, ready to go. Oh man, that sucked. And he's almost dead. Double Rupture, boom, and we're done. There we go, Flay, Rend, Rupture with these two uniques. absolutely amazing. If for some reason you don't have the Harlequin crest, definitely use the Helmet of Might. Use my old helmet that I had before, which would have had max life and a tempering with imposing presence. But of course, if you can grind this out, definitely go for this. If you don't, this build is still viable. But this piece here, oh my gosh, so amazing. With that 38%, with Rupture having a 50% chance, Flay having a 50%. Rendes are worse with 33, but you rend so many after you Rupture. Rupture resets all your cooldowns. Flay doesn't really, because you're only hitting one enemy at a time. And Rend does definitely help with that, because once you drag them all in with Steel Grasp, Rend still procs your lucky hit. I did try this build with X-Falls, and X-Falls did not proc as often as I wanted. I even put lucky hit chance on my amulet and my other ring and my gloves, and it did not work. So the only changes that this build that I made from version 2 to this one, which is like the unique version, is I added these two pieces. I put armor on here. That was it. That's actually the only difference I made, to make sure that I had armor cap. That's what was holding me back from using this before. I didn't have a piece that had armor. Our resistances are pretty much maxed out except for these two here. And our critical strike chance, I would like that to be 70%. And our crit strike damage is okay. That could be higher. So we're going to go over the builds really quickly. Harlequin Crest, Rage of Harrogath, Edge Master, and you really want one of your 25% tempering to go on critical strike chance. If you can get the critical strike tempering versus the vulnerable, because the critical strike tempering on rogue goes higher than the vulnerable tempering. So you actually want those to be switched. You want to get vulnerable on your gear, and you want to get critical strike on your tempering. And that goes for any piece that you can temper vulnerable or critical strike. The Undying Pants with imposing presence. I needed to have some resistance on here, so I have cold res. If you want to push this as high as possible, then you definitely need ranks to Flay. Weapon Master, these are rolled pretty well. We did need the armor slot. We have movement speed. I was trying to get double movement speed, but I ran out of tempers, and you definitely want the Steel Graph stuns as well. This is the same mace I've had from the beginning of all my bleed builds. I have not found a good upgrade yet. With that master working and the master critical strike damage, this is really, really good. And unfortunately, it's kind of hard to beat. But when I do get another piece, I want to take off that damage and put on critical strike damage. And I want the critical strike roll to be a vulnerable roll. And the Flay duration could be higher. But we still have Moonrise. None of the weapons have changed. We still have Rapid. We still have Intercom. And we still have the Wanton's Rupture. With all four weapons, you want Strength, Max Life, Critical Strike, Vulnerable, and Flay Duration. That's if you're going to push the pit. If you're not going to push the pit and you want to do Helltide, I would swap out one of your weapons and put Rend Size. And I'd put Rend Size because this build is so strong that when you go in Helltide, one Rend just wipe out whatever's in front of you in one shot. It's actually quite satisfying. I love it. So I do have another weapon that I use Rend Size just for Helltide. And for all your temperings, you would like one tempering to be on Flay Duration and another one to be on critical strike damage. Those are the two spots that you want to have those 25% master working hit. With here, I actually reset this one, still didn't get one. And this has changed, so we have the Conceited. Because we use Iron Skin and we pop it all the time, this barrier is up pretty much 100% of the time. Because of that, this gives us a 25x damage. You could use the elements, but the elements cycles between 30% and non-30%. Because our Rage of Harrogath literally resets this instantly, this barrier is up pretty much all the time. And the resource generation is good if you're going to use Rend. And of course, on both of your rings, you want attack speed, critical strike chance. And instead of strength, you could also look for vulnerable damage on one and maybe critical strike on the other, or both crit strike. And on both of my rings, I have the damage while berserking roll. And up here, we still have the Iron Warrior. And if you want more damage, which right now we're absolutely fine, as you saw I crushed Pit 110, you could change the adaptability and the Iron Warrior could probably swap out to the boots and put adaptability here and Iron Warrior there, and you can put Weapon Master on one of your rings. But I prefer this to give us the most damage reduction. So as you see, when we're standing in the middle, besides that one moment that I died, you're pretty much immortal. It's pretty awesome. you don't really need cooldown. Well, the reason you don't need cooldown is because of the Rage Harrogath. The Harrogath takes care of all your cooldowns. If you do not have this, you need cooldown. Absolutely. If you're using this, you really don't need cooldown at all. So go for critical strike, cut to the bone, or ranks of heavy-handed. Attack speed is good as well. And we still use the two-handed axe. This must be a bug. Everything is one-handed axe. You see this? For our skill tree, not too many changes. Still take 7 points into Battle Flay. We take 7 points into Violent Rend, 3 points into Imposing Presence, 3 points into Martial Vigor, and we take 3 points into Tactical Iron Skin, 3 points into Challenging Shout. So this is a new one that we've changed, and we take the Tactical Challenging Shout because we are using Rend. If you aren't using Rend, I wouldn't take either of these. But if you are going to use it, this is amazing because you get hit, you're immortal, you can Rend more. 3 points into Booming Voice, 3 points into Swiftness, 3 points into Pit Fighter, 3 points into Slaying Strike, 3 points into Warrior's Rupture, 1 point into Hamstring, 3 points into Cut to the Bone. We take 4 points into Steel Grasp for Fighter Steel Grasp, and I put an extra point into that just to help the cooldown where this one is 7 seconds. But that's probably not necessary. You could probably take this out and slap it in here for counteroffensive. 1 point into Thick Skin, 2 or 3 points into counteroffensive if you just made that change, 3 points into heavy-handed, and our key passive is Gushing Wounds. Couple changes in the Paragon board. In our first board, we no longer path to the left, and we take that note out as we already hit armor cap. We path up to the right. This is no longer weapon master. Now we put ire in here, so we have more damage while berserking. Our second board is still hemorrhage with territorial, and we just take enough to get the actual bonus. The third board, decimator with executioner. You just want to get enough strength to get the bonus of the 10x increased damage. Then we path up to warbringer for exploit. Then Bonebreaker for Wrath. Then you path down here to get Hemorrhage. And our final board is Blood Rage with Might. And I do path down here because I am missing a little bit of fire resistance. If you don't need these points, then take these points out and I would put them back into the Ire glyph. You could pump out some more strength to increase the Blood Rage. And of course, the other way to increase Blood Rage is put damage while berserking on one of your one-handed weapons. With the Rage of Harrogath, that is 100% a game changer. My advice to you is that if you do not have this chess piece and you want to try Flay Rend Rupture or Flay Rupture and you don't have all the pieces, try my version 2.0, which I will link down below. And if you do have this piece, you got to switch to this one. The difference is honestly night and day with the cooldown reduction. And to get that cooldown reduction, Steel Grasp into a Rupture, it'll reset your cooldowns immediately. And the biggest thing about this chess piece is you want to have the highest lucky hit possible. All these stats are pretty much garbage. Damage reduction from bleeding enemies is the only one that's decent. But other than that, I would take a 40% lucky hit chance and a minimum damage reduction to bleeding enemies roll all day. It's that 40%, the cooldown reduction that makes you immortal with this build. With the Iron Skin and the Challenging Shout together, you can stand there and Rend, Rupture, Flay, do whatever you want. This bonus will be tripled to 30% and you can just slay enemies all day. This build is a lot of fun and it's quite easy to play, and as you see, we had zero trouble in that dungeon. Absolute zero. So that is the Flay Rend Rupture build with uniques, and as you can see, it can definitely push higher. So give this build a try. Try 2.0 if you don't have the Rage of Harrogath. If you do, try this build. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy my content, and I will see you guys next time.